Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. Eric H526, Luke St. Martin, the two best moderators in all of YouTube. Thank you so very, very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have $20 million in venture capital funding, but I have my super chat. I have people who support me on Patreon. I have my viewers. So thank you very, very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give you this quote from... We'll get to the former vice president's son in a little bit, and some wonderful quotes there. But let's look at going into the final debate. Voters selecting the economy as the Trump issue backed Trump 74% to 23%. Trump also leads among voters concerned about law and order, 81% and 17%, and the Supreme Court, 63% to 35%. Now, this is why Biden loses. Biden leads among voters most concerned about the pandemic, 86 to 13. Well, everyone is concerned about the pandemic. Our concern is divided into people who want to shut down society forever and the economy forever, and people who don't and want to address the pandemic from the vantage point of, well, we also have to feed our children. We also have to clothe and feed our families. We also need an economy, a functioning economy. We also need some semblance of a society that is not paralyzed with fear pertaining to a subject matter that media and Democrats don't really address in its entirety. I haven't heard much about the rates pertaining to survival. Gee, I wonder why. Then healthcare. Biden care. He leads on what? Because Biden care is so popular? 83 to 16%. And then on the issue of race, 89% to 8%. Well, the 89% must not have known that Biden presided over the 100 to 1 sentencing disparity within a crime bill that incarcerated a great many people of color on a ratio of 100 to 1. 100 being people of color, 1 being a person that looks like his son, for the same narcotic, by the way. Just prepared differently. A narcotic that his son, a substance that his son has used or perhaps is still using. So, but this is where the true racism comes in. Everyone of every background puts the economy as one of their top concerns, and law and order. And law and order. Most Democrats want law and order. And the Supreme Court. I love when they talk about foreign policy. It's almost like Democrats and media think certain groups of voters care about foreign policy in the Supreme Court and certain groups don't care. It's like, well, that is true racism right there. That's bigotry. It's like the bigotry of omission. But that's the New International Business Times. The New International Business Times poll. Loud citizen emailed New York Board of Education how to change my vote. Wow. So that's within a poll that says Trump is only down 4 points nationally in the International Business Times. And I've been telling you, ladies and gentlemen, for around a year now, that the economy, people even within the polls that say that Trump is down 9 points nationally, they still say that they've always consistently said that voters still choose Trump on the economy. Polls pertaining to sentiment, like, do you like this person? Is he trustworthy? Do you is the economy important to you? Those are more accurate than who will you vote for 3 months from now, 2 months from now, 1 week from now. Because they don't. Okay, polls are nothing more than public relations stunts, ploys, tactics. They are public relations. Public relations is trying to sell something. The public relations industry is sales. Whether you're selling a pencil or a car. I remember in college, I worked at a car dealership for just a couple of months, but I went to a couple car dealerships, and I remember like the old school mentality. A couple of the managers said, "Okay, here's a pen. Go sell this pen." And so I didn't know what I was like, 19, 20 years old. I was like, this pen is a good pen. It writes. And then I remember the man taking it from me. He goes, "No, this pen." And he went through all the features, and it's a marker, and it does this. So selling a car is exactly the same as selling a candidate or an author who just published a book, or a business, a new cell phone, whatever. It's advertising, marketing, public relations. All of these industries are an element of sales or elements of sales. They're selling something. You're selling Biden or Botox B, the exhumed body. And I can't possibly think they're going to go with this man. So my prediction still stands, and we can party, because another one of my predictions for the past 4 years, I'm 4 years ahead of everybody, that President Trump's going to win. So if I'm going to get heat, if Clinton doesn't show up, which I'm still going with, then I should get a lot of praise for being 4 years ahead of everybody and being the second election that I accurately predicted. But they're selling the Democratic Party as the party that helps on, that is the party that focuses on race. Well, they're the ones that created all the systemic injustices. I mean, if you don't like Trump's personality, that's fine. A lot of people don't. But he did not incarcerate the Central Park Five. He shouldn't have run that ad in the newspaper. The ad didn't even mention them, but he shouldn't have run the ad. But you know who did? The mayor was, I believe, Ed Koch, Democrat. The governor was Mario Cuomo, Democrat. All of the prosecutors, you think they were Republican in New York? It's not a red state. It's been run by Tammany Hall since the 1800s. It's Democrat, Democratic Party. Eric Garner was murdered in New York in 2014. Notice how Democrats didn't do anything on the issue of brutality. So police brutality was not an issue in 2014 because President Obama was president. And when Democrats are in office, they want to be tough on crime and law and order. But when they're not, they're the, oh my God, look at the compassionate liberals. But when the liberals are in power, oh, you see, we're just following the law. We have to deport more human beings than anyone. And we're utilizing these cages, and we're building some more, and we're just following the law. But then when President Trump, oh, my God, can you... And by the way, there were families and young people who went missing, according to a Senate panel and an investigation under President Obama's administration, and worse things happened then. Worse things. I don't even want to get into it because I can't. Sheena! 4 years ago, I was deplorable. Now I'm a chump for Trump. Love you, H.A. Ohio for Trump. Ohio! Sheena! Loud citizen, Sheena. Ohio is going to give... Ohio and Florida will be like the... flagship will be like the bedrock of President Trump's victory. You can't go into any election Unless you and I want them to abolish the Electoral College, but you can't go into to try to, because they will look like even bigger imbeciles than they already do. Go and try to. See, this is the thing. You can't go into an election without Florida and Ohio. You're pretty much going to lose the election, okay? Even Democrats concede Trump has Ohio and Florida. Even Democrats concede that. But I don't mind. See, I think that Medicare for All is a noble endeavor. Is it feasible? I don't think it's feasible. Would it provide the same outcomes or the same quality of healthcare? I don't think so. For 320 million Americans, Medicare, they say Medicare for all. Well, there's out-of-pocket costs for Medicare, $7,000. Over around $7,000 out of pocket. See, the people who are pushing Medicare for all and who say vote Democrat or vote Clinton in 2016, these are the biggest phonies on the planet. Okay? They very likely got $20 million in venture capital funding. And they're like, oh, I'm socialist. Oh, yeah. And they're like, I'm a democratic socialist. Not a socialist. Well, who cares about the distinction when you're voting Democrat no matter what? Who cares? You're voting for a political party that will not, if you're a democratic socialist and you're not voting the Green Party, then you're with glee and enthusiasm being pummeled by a political party that is utilizing your vote without giving you anything. Democrats are giving nothing. So I would like them to try to pass a Medicare for All bill. Then they could talk about taxes going up. When they say, well, Medicare for All is very popular throughout the country, not when people find out that their taxes will go up. So that's why Democrats, it's unbelievable too. It's like Democrats don't want to talk about Medicare for All because they don't want to run on taxes. Increase taxes. And then the rebuttal is, well, your premiums, well, you won't have to pay premiums. Well, yeah, but not everyone has the same premium, genius. Okay? And then this is a really bad tactic for Medicare for All proponents. Everything is magically cured. The pandemic would magically be cured, even though France and the UK aren't doing as well as Sweden, who basically, well, we don't have to go into that now, but I'm not talking specifically about Medicare for All there, but countries that had Medicare for All are worse in certain statistics pertaining to the pandemic than we are. So, but see, the thing is, it's like, they say, well, Medicare for All, the government everything would be better. Well, how do you know every single aspect of health and of health coverage would be better if the government ran it? How do you know this? How do you know this? Is it backed up by the National Health Service in the UK? Is it backed up by the government-run healthcare in Canada or France? Not everything is going to be better, and you're not assured of the same outcomes because we have more people. We have 320 million Americans. You can't. Medicare only covers 70 million. These are questions. See, these are not. I'm not necessarily knocking Medicare for All. What I'm saying is these are questions that Democrats are unable to answer or unable to communicate. They're not able to communicate the answers to the general public. So the Democratic Party has relegated the Medicare for All people to a tiny portion of Twitter. And Bernie Sanders is now voting for Biden. Lincoln Project is voting for Biden. So Bernie Sanders and the Lincoln Project are voting for a political party that is said to eventually pass a Medicare for All bill when the Messiah comes, maybe. But what I'm trying to say is they're liars and they deceive all the time. I would love to see them pass a Medicare for All bill because then they would have to explain the benefits, why the benefits would outweigh the tax increases. But see, again, they don't want to sell anything that they can't. They don't want to ultimately sell anything to the entire country. They want to sell first to different factions within the Democratic Party. They want to pretend that, do they want a Green New Deal? No, it was a resolution. A Green New Deal resolution, a Green New Deal resolution is not a bill. That's like saying we have a Medicare for All resolution. Why didn't they just have a Medicare for All resolution? It's the same thing. Michael C. Gomer for FBI director. Oh my God, that'd be amazing. HA, come on, man, give him the Gomer. Michael C. Yes, that was old school. Michael C. Yes. What was it? Gomer. Mr. Strzok. Oh my God. You were lovely Lisa Page. I forgot. I would have to have it. I'd have to listen to him. It was amazing. He was amazing. It was amazing. Strzok got Gomered. Michael C., thank you. Did you tell that to your wife? Michael C., thank you. Ebenezer Adams, the term Democratic Socialist is akin to saying someone is a well-dressed murderer. Ebenezer Adams, thank you. You know what? If you call yourself a Democratic Socialist, great. Why are you voting Democrat? You're voting for a political party that the Lincoln Project is voting for, and a political party that will never give you any. Like, AOC is the perfect gift to Trump. Oh my God. Okay. Millennials on Twitter have zero influence within the Democratic Party. Zero. And the AOC is actually a gift to President Trump. Because what AOC does is promises the world to idealistic voters and Pelosi, Schumer, and Madam Secretary and Botox B, the exhumed body. What they do is they say, yeah, or Kamala Harris. They'll say, yeah, eventually one day, but you have to vote for us. That's the only chance you have. And they will never implement a Green New Deal bill. Then they mark it as, well, we didn't mean a bill. We just wanted to move the debate. That's what they talk about with reparations. They say, well, we're going to study it. Well, what's there to study? You already know history. So what are you for, Democrats? Well, we're going to study it. So this is when they sit on the fence. So President Trump, in the manner he expressed himself, was not a good manner. Okay, it wasn't a good manner pertaining to the kneeling. But Democrats, what they do is they would never. Do you see Pelosi? Do you see Madam Secretary? Do you see Botox B kneeling during the national anthem? You will never see a Democratic politician, but they will try to get every single ounce of political utility, saying, oh, yes, it's your freedom of expression and your freedom and your right to protest. Well, Trump also, what is he doing? He can't prevent anyone. He knows he can't prevent anyone from protesting. So Democrats and Trump agree. They agree on the national anthem protest. The difference is that Democrats are too cowardly to actually engage in what they pretend to stand for. Nobody is saying you don't have the right to do that. What Democrats are saying is, we agree with Trump. We wouldn't do it ourselves, but we'll pretend that we're okay with that form of disagreement. And it's public relations. I don't see them taking a knee during the national anthem. Why not? Where are the Democratic politicians on, when sports leagues were taking a knee? They could have gone and done the same thing. They could have videoed it. Where's AOC taking the knee during the national anthem? Where's AOC with the Green New Deal bill? Where is she with a Medicare for All bill? They don't want to pass anything. They want to lie and deceive. They're public relations. Public relations. They're selling something. And Democrats and the left is petrified of being called Trump supporters. So they don't want to, or Russia bots. So they don't want to join the Green Party, and they just go ahead and get used and abused as always. Scott Bullion, Scott. The biggest case. Oh, yes. The biggest case of privilege. The biggest case of privilege. My God. And look at the narcotic that he's using. And that he's just getting away with. Well, that he's gotten away with using. I'm sorry, let me fact check myself. He hasn't completely gotten away with using it. He just hasn't had any long-term consequences. So therefore, I'll rate my prior statement as a half-true and somewhat deceiving. Scott Bullion, you're 100% right. Justin Mooney, thank you so very, very much. Original Medicare has no maximum. Okay, private advantage is $7,550 for in-network. Okay. Out of pocket, but okay. Could be lower due to competition. Trump is able to decrease drug prices because we subsidize countries. Thank you, Justin Mooney. Private advantage, exactly. So there are different plans within Medicare for All. Exactly, Justin Mooney. And that's, within Medicare. And Medicare is also for about 70 million Americans. So, exactly. Justin Mooney, thank you. Scott, thank you. Peter Sprague, I'm for against. You know what? Green New Deal single-handedly will hurt Democrats going into the election. Because they don't mean what they say. This is the Democratic Party. This is an existential threat. The climate change is an existential threat. Well, what are you going to do about it? We have this nice resolution. You don't want a legislation? No, we're going to move the debate. We're moving the debate forward. Oh, that's public relations for... You know your ideas are not politically feasible or they would hurt you politically. So you're going to move the ideas forward in a resolution, but not a bill. Because then you would have to, have perhaps economic or tax consequences to your legislation. And they didn't even vote for a Green New Deal resolution in the Senate. They're so petrified of their own value system. It's hilarious. Michael C., correct, Ed. They don't want to solve any issues. Just use them as a club to beat ours with. Exactly. They just want to use them as a political weapon. That's it. Exactly. They just want to use them as a political weapon, a political ploy. A political ploy to pretend, as a political ploy to pretend that they actually stand for the things that they don't stand for. Oh, goodness. Okay, so is the buffering... All right, let's see if we can... Let me know if you can see and hear me, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know if you can see and hear me. Okay. Michael C., you're 100% right. Scott and Justin, thank you. 4 more year. Trump dances YMCA. AARP. AARP. That's so funny. Gonzalez 131, hello. The reason it's important to realize that they don't want to pack the courts. They don't want a Green New Deal. They don't want to abolish the Electoral College. They don't want to abolish ICE. They don't want to abolish the Electoral College. So wait, hold on one second. I have a list of what Biden doesn't want. Let me give you a list of what Biden doesn't want. Okay? It's a pretty long list. It's actually so he doesn't want Medicare for all. Okay? They don't want Medicare for all. They don't want a Green New Deal. They don't want to pack the courts. They don't want to abolish the Electoral College. They don't want to defund police. They don't want to abolish ICE. They don't want to ban fracking. And they support the Lincoln Project. But there are other things they don't want also. Let's see, what else don't they want that they say they want? I had it up to 7. I had it up to 7. I had it up to 7 things that they're lying about. Gosh, I had it up to 7 things. Okay. They don't want Medicare for all. They're lying about that. They don't want a Green New Deal. They don't want to pack the courts. They don't want to abolish the Electoral College. They don't want to abolish ICE. They don't want to defund police. They don't want to ban fracking. They just don't want. They just basically are lying about everything. Raphael Koch. H.E., did you see the Biden gaffe about... you know what? I heard a little bit about it. I didn't see it. I heard a little bit about it, but I did not see it. So... I heard a little bit about it. But, yeah, I mean... You're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, why don't Democrats, what President Trump should have said is, who built the cages? He should have said that, and he did, but he should have said that all throughout. That was a horrendous debate for Botox B. He lost miserably. And, you know, PJP72, I remember on this channel, told us that he said, HA, people are hurting. Trump needs to calm down. And it's true. See, I guess have a little bit more of an appreciation for Trump's belligerence, because what the Democrats and media do is they're after Trump, but they think that they are the most belligerent. They are the most uncouth and boorish, and they are the most offensive, but they're the establishment. And so when media pumps a story that's obviously false, so for example, Steele dossier, unverified, and they loved it and they were proud of it. Everything going on with the vice president's son, his own words, but they hide behind, well, we don't know if they're true. Well, the campaign didn't deny them. Why didn't the campaign? See, with Trump, he denied everything from day one. Said the Steele dossier was nonsense from day one. Biden is quiet because the emails are accurate. And there's his son's name on the invoice. There is an invoice, a computer repair shop invoice. You couldn't even make it up. If you went back in time 40 years and you wanted to talk to John F. Kennedy about a computer repair shop, And you said Democrats aren't going to win in 2020. In fact, they're never going to win again. Go on. Why is that? Because I've come here from the future, President Kennedy, and we just want to let you ask you what can we do to save this political party? Well, what's happening? Well, there's a candidate whose son took pictures of his Anthony Weiner. His Anthony Weiner? Yes, his Anthony Weiner. And took videos and was selling access to the vice presidency. This is horrendous. Well, President Kennedy, how did they find out this information? Well, his son, in a drunken stupor, left a computer at a computer repair shop. A computer repair shop? Yes. Now you're putting me on. No, he left a computer at a computer repair shop. And all of the emails and text messages compromising, all of the incriminating and compromising correspondence is not only accurate, it was written by the vice president's son and received by the vice president's son and written by the vice president's son's business associates, who happen to be foreign nationals trying to gain access to the highest levels of the United States government. Begone, spirit from 2020. Democrats will never win again. You couldn't make it up. You couldn't make it up. You could not make it up. KM, thank you. Pale, hello, thank you. JMV Entertainment buys... JMV Entertainment, thank you so very, very much. Exactly. Oh my God. Do you understand JMV Entertainment and everybody here? It is going to be so lovely. It is going to be so beautiful. November 3rd will be payback for all the friends and the family and the people you never even met before that tell you you're immoral, that you're not right, that you're on the wrong side of history, that you're siding with the 1930s, 1940s Germans. I love that when they're so warped and they have nothing to say about Trump. They're like, well, I'd be fighting against the... No, you wouldn't. In the 1930s and 1940s Germans, look up Sophie Scholl, German woman, a young woman, courageous, beautiful, courageous young woman in a university. The universities were the greatest supporters of the 1930s and 1940s Germans. The universities within that country. And Sophie Scholl was one of the three or four people in her university, and I believe the three lost their lives, and she lost her life. Her life was, they ended her life for actually standing up. So she was, a hero, an absolute hero, will live forever. But the universities think that the prevailing mentality is Trump is mean. This is what was on Twitter. This is why I pushed back on this. I'm like, it's so ridiculous. And I wrote a Jerusalem Post op-ed about AOC and her obscene historical revisionism pertaining to the 1930s and 40s and Trump's immigration policies. Obscene. That's why they're taking a picture of her looking into a fence and not what's on the opposite end of the fence. It's all public relations. They're selling something nobody wants to buy. That's why they're going to lose again. They spent 8 years selling something under President Obama, and then Trump won. And they spent 4 years selling something against selling an alternative to Trump, and then Trump's going to go 8 years. Now, Romney was selling something that definitely nobody wanted. So without Trump, Republicans are gone forever. Memo Dickens BXN! H.A. fan of early in-person vote. Family of 4 early in-person voted for President Trump Wednesday in a certain sunshiny state. Yes. Goodbye. We need to keep red. Latinos for Trump. Dickens BXN. Latinos for Trump. Thank you so very, very much. Latinos are going to give President Trump 8 years. And they're going to send, I'm still saying Clinton, but if they go with Botox B, the exhumed body, it'll be Botox B. Bimbo Dickens BXN. Thank you so very, very much. I love it. I love it. Congrats. Yes. Bimbo Dickens BXN, thank you. JM, MSN Pulsar's rumbling about the House. I would love that. Would love that. Right now, I just think that, the Senate will stay. Like people like John James in Michigan, he'll win. And President Trump's going to win Michigan in large part because of John James. So the president owes a lot to John James in Michigan. Mitchell Smith, JM, thank you. Mitchell Smith. HA attended a rally in Circleville, Ohio yesterday. Trump was over an hour late. Not one person left. Also unbelievable how many young voters were there. Yes, Mitchell Smith. Mitchell, the punk rock of today is Trump. Trump is punk rock. It's not Robert De Niro and James Comey and Jimmy Kimmel and Madam Secretary and Botox B, the exhumed body. No. Young people sense honesty. Or let's put it this way. I would say that, obviously most young people are liberal. But if they can think for themselves, you don't even have to like Trump. But if you can say, I dislike Trump, but he's not as bad as what Democrats say, I give you major credit for that. And then if you like Trump, I give you even more credit. John V. Thank you, Mitchell. John V. was booted from within 15 minutes of sharing Baby Quay. Video gateway pun. Wow. Little baby quail. A little baby quail. Plop. Wow, John V. Wow. Wow. Bimbo Dickens BXN. We voted orange down ballot, baby. Orange. Orange. Orange is the new freedom. Orange is the new, freedom of speech, freedom. That's also, the Democrats are like, they don't realize that they're the biggest racists of all time. Because they're like, well, certain demographics aren't going to care about freedom and, free speech and, the economy. We're good on relations on race and the pandemic. Like, well, you've spent 4 years on, you spent the past 6 months, 7 months. Prior to George Floyd being murdered, there was Eric Garner in 2014 who was murdered, both in Democratic-run states and cities. And I support law enforcement. I'm part of the 1199 Foundation. That is a wonderful foundation that supports the families of fallen CHP officers and the families of CHP officers. 1199 Foundation is a fantastic foundation. It's in the description of every one of my segments. I support law enforcement. I support law enforcement in Los Angeles, LAPD, CHP. I support them. Does this mean I also go to the doctor if I need to, and I also have a lawyer, and I also go to the dentist for my teeth, and I also, like, do you suddenly turn your back on on an industry or on a group of professionals, especially professionals like law enforcement who risk their lives every day, if there are people who engage in malpractice, in brutality. There have been dentists and there have been doctors who have like put their patients under and done obscene things. Does that mean you don't go to the dentist anymore? That's why Democrats are like, abolish dentists. There was one dentist someplace that did this, and then another dentist did that. And it's like, well, the vast majority of interactions are good. This is a fact. They never fact-checked themselves. But in what happened to Eric Garner was a murder. What happened to George Floyd was a murder. And so you fix those things. You don't destroy cities. 10,000 people have been arrests linked to peaceful protest. 10,000. And then they focus on like 20 or 30 people linked tangentially to Trump somehow. And they're like, this is a huge problem. Like, according to the Associated Press, 10,000 people have been arrested associated with the protests. So, but their mentality is, certain demographics don't care. It's like, what? Why wouldn't everyone care about law and order? Oh, that's right, Democrats, you're bigots. That's right. KSNF, plop. Blap.
Hey, little baby quail, don't let the video of the feet, don't let the feet video go. Give a little bit of milk for the baby quail. Fly, baby quail, 12 points up nationally. Nobody knows why. Can't finish a sentence. Fly, baby quail. 50 years in government. Never did anything right. Fly, baby quail. Fly, fly.
Blop. KSNF. Thank you. KSNF. Shine the light on it. That's one of the great names on this channel's history. Shine the light on it. I love it. Julio Yu, hello. Shine the light on it. I love it. KSNF and shine the light on it. Thank you so very much. Bill, I'm expecting any day now. Shine the light on it. Thank you so very, very much. That's what I like that phrase also. I'm not going to tell you why I like it. I just ask Anthony Weiner and the vice president's son and the former New York Attorney General and pretty much every Democrat. We don't really like clothing at all. Ask a CNN contributor. Yeah, shine the light on that. Shine the light on it. Thank you so very, very much. KSNF, thank you. Mark Skog. Oh, Biden. And they For sources inside the bank, the movie Gremlin was really a documentary, and they have been running Team Joe ever since 12 a.m. September 13th. They have to put water on him, so he turns into a gremlin. Yes. Mark Skog, thank you.
Little baby quail.
Larry, hello.
Little baby quail. Nurture it. Love it.
Until November 3rd, then you'd be like, baby quail. Bah, bah, bah. We did everything we could. The autopsy of the 2020 election will be absolutely fantastic. It's like, we did everything we could. We found a person who can't communicate, a person who's older than Rip Van Winkle, a person that has never done anything in 50 years, right after a populist one. I mean, what did we do wrong? It's like, what? First of all, I think Clinton's going to replace it. I can't possibly believe that That Botox B, the exhumed body is. I just can't get. But the autopsy. That autopsy here for the 2020 election, if they actually are so inept and they go with Botox B, that'll be a fantastic autopsy. It's like, whoa, smart Democratic strategists, we're here on this table and we have the fantastic Democrats, the Bloomberg journalists and the Washington Post and the New York Times, and we have the former Clinton strategists. And this phenomenon of Trump going 8 years, I mean, this is a matter of what? Russian disinformation? I mean, because we picked a person who looked like an exhumed body, which is a check. Okay, that's what people wanted. We had a person who basically had all the mannerisms of a cadaver that got plastic surgery. Yeah. Okay, a person who's known for selling influence because of his son. Well, we've known that since 2015. People would appreciate that. A person who we successfully impeached Trump over, convincing everyone that Trump inappropriately tried to investigate Biden, which we now know, of course, was warranted. But anyway, I mean, we picked that type of person. A person who doesn't want Medicare for all, doesn't want to abolish the Electoral College, doesn't want to abolish ICE, doesn't want to defund police, doesn't want a Green New Deal, doesn't want to ban fracking, doesn't want everything. Well, I mean, so like, what did we do wrong? What did we do wrong? What did we do wrong? I mean, this hold that Trump has, they're all hypnotized, this hypnosis. It's like they're so clueless. It's unbelievable. They're so clueless. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Justin Mooney. I'm a licensed health producer, but you can fact check me. Besides switching to Advantage, private supplemental plans cover original, out of pocket at different levels. Plan K is a max of, $5,880. And level max, exactly, of $2,940. Exactly. And exactly. And it's not free. That's what they keep saying. It's not free. Justin Mooney, shine the light on it. I want to thank you for that. Shine the light on it. Thank you. KSNF, thank you. Shine the light on it. Thank you so very much. KSNF, thank you so very much. Justin Mooney, it's not free. They're selling something. They're selling something they don't want. They're selling things they don't want, and they're selling things that aren't accurate. And then they're the ones who are like, oh my God, the post-truth moment, oh my God. And we have Amy Coney Barrett. Oh yeah. Misery loves company, so there's going to be, I don't think, on November 3rd, when President Trump's, that lead going in, the 60, 40, 70, 30 split between Republicans showing up on Election Day and Democrats, that is a genuine thing. And I don't think that Democrats are, the longer it goes, Democrats aren't waiting in line because they're going to think that the plague is going to get them. So, which could be the case for some people. So, I mean, put your health first. And I'm saying this as a Trump supporter, and put your health first. I'm the first person to say, if I'm not feeling well that day, or you're not feeling well that day, don't just take care of your health. But I'm going to feel well. You're going to feel well. So you'll be fine. You live life. But even Fauci, the great one, the fantastic person who's never backtracked any comments, he said that it's safe. So it's like, but anyway, the point is, if you have a 70-30 or 60-40 split, you're gonna cut into any lead on election night within the first hour. So I don't know how exactly, I don't know, like, if they're going to factor in the early vote initially or the factor in the early vote after. I think they'll factor in the early vote initially. But, I mean, they've always factored in the early vote initially. So, But within the first 2 hours, you're going to be looking at President Trump doing extremely well. In Florida, he was down 200 votes in 2016, just with the early voting, and he went up 100,000 by the end of the night. So you're going to have, they're even like Bloomberg had this political strategy firm talking about how, oh my God, the early voting, people, they might not accept that the Democrats might win, Clinton or Democrats might win because they'd be so far up, Yeah, it's called winning. It's called winning an election. Aussie woman! Looking forward to watching you go on election eve and election day. God bless you, Trump 2020. God bless you, Aussie woman. God bless you. Thank you so very much. Be here. It's going to be fantastic. Oh my God. The joy and the happiness will, from Australia to Canada to the UK to Nepal to the Ivory Coast to Mexico to just going around the world. Happiness, happiness, happiness. It'll be amazing. In fact, you know what? You talk about global warming. The salty tears alone could cause a tsunami. A tsunami of joy. Aussie woman, thank you so very, very much. As always, please be here. To my Australian viewers, thank you. Aussie woman, thank you again. Ebenezer Adams. I voted for Reagan in 1984, and this election is a lot like back then. I agree. The left went off the cliff with Mondale on election day. It was an epic. Yeah. I was there, and it's happening again. Exactly. Ebenezer Adams. I was very little, but I could tell. Ebenezer Adams, I was a little kid in a religious Hebrew school. And I remember the teacher said, "Okay, everyone, put your head down on the desks, and we're going to do a survey to see whose parents are voting for Reagan, whose parents are voting for Mondale." And you have to understand, I come from lifelong Democrats. A great percentage of my family actually voted for Reagan, but my family, my parents. I was the only. I actually looked. Almost the whole class raised their hand for Reagan, and I was one of the few people for Mondale. And I remember just thinking, "Wow, I'm one of the few people from Mondale." But yeah, but you look at Reagan now, and he's a much better president than President Obama because he's less militant. You can look at President Obama's track record on foreign policy. If you didn't destroy a country, you're a better president than President Obama. So President Obama destroyed a country in Libya. Well, Reagan did this, and yeah, but he didn't destroy a country. He didn't destroy, but he did this and this. Yeah, I know. President Obama did similar also, but he didn't. But he actually destroyed Libya. Ebenezer Adams, thank you. Thank you, Patrick. Tony Bubala was supposed to meet with Senate on Friday. What do you think Senator Leahy? I think Senator Leahy spoke about Bubalinsky. You don't really know about the good old Hunter, do you? You're making everything up on that, whatever it's called. Okay, on the tabulation machine. You're making everything up on that machine that tabulates things.
And by the way, Tony Bubala, I know what you're really up to. A disinformation campaign from Russia.
Patrick. I wish I could do more, but Patrick, thank you. Lakiva. Amy Coney Barrett is the perfect mom. She really is. 7 happy kids, and you're working all the time, you know. Like Amy Coney Barrett has the perfect family, and then Botox B, the son is like, wow, you don't even have to. Oh my God. Paul Bartlett, thank you. Paul Bartlett, hello. Lakiva, thank you. Julie Lewis voted for Trump today. Lots of supporting people there. Yeah, yes, Julie Lewis, yes. Yes, Julie Lewis, thank you so very, very much. Fantastic. Dale, God bless you, thank you. Dale, God bless you, thank you so very much. Hope to see you tonight. Be here tonight at 9 p.m., everybody, 9 p.m. Bimbo Dickens BXN, Bimbo Dickens. Red Mirage will end up being a red nightmare. Instead of Dems winning slowly on November 3rd, they will continue losing slowly. I know. It's going to be like, we can still do it. We can still. And can you imagine? Like, this is the thing. I don't dislike the Democrats as much as Democrats dislike Trump. And I don't like Democrats. And I really don't like Democrats. So imagine. I probably dislike Democrats more than most people. A lot more. But I don't dislike them as much as they dislike Trump. I don't have venom. Well, I don't have, like, malice. I don't have malice towards Democrats. They're malicious towards Trump. They're malicious towards Trump. That's one thing. I don't take them seriously enough to hold malice in my heart. They view Trump as this, they keep on saying existential threat. Obviously, they don't view climate change as an existential threat. President Obama presided over the largest expansion of domestic oil and gas production. Documenting, documazing. I think any day now. I can't imagine. I can't imagine that they would go with Botox B, the exhumed body. I just can't imagine that. I just can't imagine that. But I mean, they're doing this to themselves again. It's going to be hilarious. At this look. If you've watched this channel, let's just, for a second, let's say, for example, Clinton isn't on the ballot. We party November 3rd, but I've also been saying that Trump's going 8 years. I've been steadfast forever. I actually, even on election night in 2016, I said Trump's going to go 8 years. And so, and I was right about the Steele dossier being nonsense, Trump, Russia being nonsense, impeachment being a complete tragedy, Mueller being a tragedy. But see, if you watch this channel, you've understood what's really going on, what's really happening, what's really taking place, and you have a better understanding of why President Trump's going to go 8 years, and why he will always, why that was always going to be the case. They were wrong about everything. Mainstream has been wrong about everything, from Clinton to Mueller, to impeachment, to now re-election, to everything in between. They've been wrong about everything. And they are now literally making things up. The Lincoln Project had to make up a quote from Jared Kushner and run it in New York. Probably the only place in the country that would actually allow that kind of billboard. And Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner should absolutely sue the Lincoln Project yesterday. They should have already done that. You can't fabricate a quote. They're fabricating Trump quotes. They don't want to pass a Medicare for All bill. They don't want to pass a Green New Deal bill because they don't view climate change as an existential crisis. They are trying to sell you. It's public relations, sales. They don't view climate change. Democrats do not view climate change as an existential crisis because they didn't talk about a Green New Deal bill. All they've done is talk about Trump-Russia for the past 4 years. Then they're going to complain about why they lost again. Nobody cares. The Cold War is over. They ran on a Russian reset in 2008. And they presided over, and they allowed, because President Obama could have vetoed the sale of 20% of U.S. uranium capacity. If processed differently, can build you know what. Boomerdickens BXN, thank you so very, very much. Thank you. Awake Canadian. Can't wait to join you on election night. Oh my God, it's going to be amazing. Tell your friends, everybody. Everybody throughout the world, tell your friends. You know, there's going to be fantastic channels on election night. There's going to be fantastic channels on election night. Okay, Tim Pool, Sticks, Brandon Tatum, Anthony Brian Logan, Amazing Lucas. There's amazing channels. Steven Crowder, Mark Dice. Oh my God, there's so many great channels. Okay, on election night. There's so many great channels. You know what? Here, I can tell you some fantastic channels here. There's so many great, amazing channels. You know what a fantastic channel is? Fantastic channel, K. Solo Rivera. He's awesome. He is awesome. Watch him on election night also. He's fantastic. He talks about a whole lot of things. But K. Solo Rivera is absolutely... I love his channel. Different subject matter than politics, but he has a great take on a lot of things. Liberal Hive Mind. Love Liberal Hive Mind. Love Liberal Hive Mind. Like Steven Crowder, Brandon Tatum. Mark Dice is fantastic. There's a lot of good channels that there's a lot of fantastic places you can be. Gary Lamb, he's awesome. There's so many great places to be. And hold on, there's Nick DiPaolo is fantastic. But I'm just, there's so many great places on election night. And it's like, there's a couple that are just fantastic. There are a couple, about 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 channels that you should definitely be watching on election night. And they're so awesome. But we're going to have a fantastic Roseanne Barr has an amazing channel. Definitely watch her. She is Roseanne is black conservative patriot. Watch him on election night. Roseanne is an icon, a legend. I put Roseanne along with Lucille Ball as female comedy legends and Hollywood icons. She's fantastic. Jericho Green. I've been watching Jericho Green since he had like 20,000, 15 to 10,000 subs. It's going to be fantastic. Do you understand? It's going to be like Christmas Come Early. It's going to be so amazing. Awake Canadian. Tell your... It's going to... Oh, my God. I don't know what else to say. I'm gonna be crying. Yeah, Trump, yeah. It'd be tears of joy. It'd be like, it's gonna be amazing because you have all those people who are like, oh yeah. Can't wait for your election night. Send lots Canadian love to our awesome U.S. neighbors. Thank you so very, very much. Goodman 2020. Thank you. Awake Canadian, to my viewers in Canada. I love you. Thank you so very, very much for watching. Thank you. Be here on election night. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be absolutely amazing. The sermon files he did with states. I didn't do that. It was amazing. And I was telling people to watch Styx in 2016 when I had more subs than him. And I don't think I've gained a sub in like 4 years. No, I have. It was 150. It was less than 150 4 years ago. But my channel is basically like, I'm telling you, I'm the Kevin McReynolds of YouTube. Kevin McReynolds, he's a good player, fantastic player. Solid 28 homers, 99 RBIs, 280. Solid. I'm a solid place on you. Solid channel on YouTube. And then H.A. Goodman's other channel. I have 16,000 subs there. But I'm not like, a Hall of Famer yet, but I'm just a solid player. Kevin McReynolds was a solid player. Any team would want Kevin McReynolds. Any team. The Mets, Dodgers, oh man. That was close last night. Ay. It's okay. Dodgers will come back. The Ark, hello. The Secret Spaceship, hello. The Secret Spaceship, hello. D. Lynn, thank you so very much. D. Lynn, thank you. The Secret Spaceship, hello. Bimbo Dickens BXN. Lying Libs, we're on 4.5 hour lines. Wow, lawn chairs just to vote yesterday. Don't believe them, they're not afraid. That's true. That's true. Bimbo Dickens BXN, that's true. I agree with you. I still think, though, that... No, you're right. You're right. Everybody has to vote. Look, President Trump can still lose his election if people don't take it, like, life and death seriously. Like, seriously. They try to blame the pandemic on Trump. It's like, Trump is not a governor. Okay, the worst outcomes took place in Democratic-run states. So, that's not Trump's fault. That is not Trump's fault. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very, very much. Bimbo Dickens BXN, thank you so very, very much. Angela, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. Thank you. Bimbo Dickens BXN, Julie, everyone here, Awake Canadian, thank you. Patrick, Ebenezer, Aussie Woman, Justin Mooney, Mark, Skog, Shine the Light on the KSNF, Bimbo Dickens, John, Mitchell, JMV Entertainment, Raphael, 4 more year, Michael, Peter, Justin, Scott, Ebenezer, Sheena, Loud Citizen. If I forgot somebody, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless you all. Be here at 9 p.m. Well, you know what? Yeah, be here at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. tonight. We'll have an amazing, amazing live stream. It's happening, folks. They are heading towards another iceberg, and they don't realize it, and it's not going to be fun. Just reading the reaction. Just reading the reaction to Trump winning again It will be so golden and beautiful. Because you have to understand, these people, if they had their way, would try to ruin everyone in their path. And they did this during the Mueller probe, and they did it during impeachment, and they tried to do it online with people. They will try to ruin because they're so full of malice. They're so full of, they're so miserable. They're so apoplectic and hysterical. And they're seething that they lost only political power, nothing to do with value system. Don't worry about that. Just look at President Obama's administration or Bill Clinton or Biden's 50 years. Nothing to do with value system. They are seething and fuming that they lost. That's why they make all these absurd correlations, and they try to revise history. Give me your thoughts below. We're about to win. God bless America. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Be here at 9 p.m. I will see you tonight at 9 p.m. Be here on November 3rd. Tell your friends. Tell your friends to be here on November 3rd. Thanks, everybody. See you tonight at 9 p.m. Subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel right now.